So today we're going to be installing Race Comp Engineering, right?
Yeah.
Race Comp Engineering lowering springs on a 2018 WRX. This install will be the same thing for every 2015 and up WRX and STI, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all you're going to need is a 12, a 14, a 17, and a 19 to do this job. It's going to be pretty easy.
And a 6mm Allen wrench.
And a 6 and a 5.
Oh yes, for the rears.
Yeah.
5 and a 6mm
Hi, Tony.
Allen wrench.
Would you like to help with spring, Tony? Yes, it's a spring, Tony. So today, we're going to get to installing these RCE lowering springs on this 2018 WRX. It's going to be awesome. It's going to make it look very nice and super easy. So the first thing we're going to do for the front strut is loosen the 3 strut nuts up top. We're not removing them yet, just loosening. As Stormy Daniels.
It doesn't make sense. Wow.
Alrighty, now we can move down bottom. Now we're going to remove the 10mm bolt on the ABS line and the brake hose right here, not right here. Did you get it?
Yep. All right, and then you have 2 19mm bolts going through with 19mm nuts to release the spindle from the strut. That's the way to do it. Take the left side off. The top bolt has a washer on the front side of the strut.
So the washer's on the nut side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, that came out. I think it'll go back. Yep, right there. So we have plenty of people here, but if you're by yourself, right hand underneath, then you can just pick it up and use your left hand to take the nuts off at the top.
It's worth noting that if you fully removed those nuts previously instead of just loosened them, the whole strut could just fall right down.
Oh.
And you don't want that, it could damage the brake line or brake hose. So you make them loose so you can easily do this by hand, and then it just pulls right out.
Been driving in the snow a lot. All right, so we're gonna install these spring clamps, clamp it down.
Yep. Some people are crazy on the internet and don't use clamps, they'll use like ratchet straps or something, and it's kind of dangerous. I would never recommend doing that. You definitely want to use a good set of clamps.
You can get them at an auto parts store for free, like just rent them and take them back, or don't take them back.
But if you don't want to deal with the hassle of the auto parts store, I can have a link in the description down below of a pretty good set, or I can have a link to like this set or an even higher quality set, because up at CJ's, we use a monster one. It's not a wall mounted one, but it's like this real nice like V shape.
Okay.
And it's one piece, and it's just like, it can clamp the world. It's awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah. So 19mm up here.
Yeah. 19mm on both of them. Run them down equally.
You do need to use a wrench there, right? Like for this, like the socket kind of hits the hat, right?
I guess because of the setup with this guy. Well, would that reach it? Did it not fit?
Let's give it a shoot.
Let's try it. You need to plug that in.
That one needs a wrench right there. Too much of an angle. That one we can do. And I guess it would help if it feels plugged in. Because there's so few rings, you can't get them like directly across from each other. At least not with this style that we have. Now, we need a screwdriver to pop that off. Pop this guy off here, and then we need a 15. Is that what 15 and a 6mm round? For this next part, you might need a special tool. This is a pass-through ratchet style socket. So we need to put this 17mm socket on the stud of the shock, and then the Allen key goes through it. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the spot.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's going against the table actually.
There we go.
Yeah, we go around.
We tried using an impact on this, and it was not effective. You do need to use the Allen key to get this off. It's a mechanical locking nut, and it's got a pretty good grip on that piston on the shock.
Feels like it's Loctited.
Yeah, it's mechanically locked.
Right.
And then this hat's gonna come off, and there will be a washer underneath of it. So just make sure you keep in mind of the orientation of this washer. And the hat. And the old perfectly good spring.
The old spring you don't need to replace. Freddy would put it back dirty, but I'm gonna clean it.
So for this front strut, you know, what are we doing about the bump stop? Because I know the instructions were kind of confusing. Well, what are we doing about the bump stop on this?
This is the front. The front didn't have bump stops.
Yeah, so it came with bump stops, right? But we're not.
It came with them because this is the limited model. The limited, I think the premium and the limited model do not have it. It's base model only to get a bump stop up front. The premium and the limited, it's already shortened.
Yeah, so it came with these, and we're not putting them on the front, but we do put them on the rear.
We do put them on the rear.
Okay.
Because the rear has big ones.
Okay.
We put smaller ones on.
Drop it. Get that washer on. And we're not going to use the compressor to put this back together. We're just going to use man dryer. Press it, and then the stud will go through, and they can put the nut on top.
Dylan's not good at threading. Keep backing it out. There you go.
He needs practice with getting his nut.
That's right.
Yeah. And this doesn't have to be orientated a certain way because this is a bearing up here, and you can spin this once it's in the car. I think we're at the torque spec, and the torque spec is right about there.
Yeah, right about there. Yeah.
Now this can go in the car.
Yeah. Installation's reverse as taking it apart.
Yep. Put the strut in, and then get your 3 nuts up top. No special technique about it. Just line it up. And then get your nut. Get all 3 nuts hand tightened, then you can go work on the bottom.
Just gonna sit this back in place. The bolt goes from the back towards the front.
The cambered one is on.
The cambered one is supposed to be on the top. Get the other one. Yep. Yeah.
So when we go to tighten these, we're gonna put this camber bolt at pretty much 0 camber. We're gonna have it straight up and down. You are gonna need alignment after this because you're lowering the car and you're messing with the camber bolt, but we're gonna put it in the middle just so we can get to the alignment shop. And you can notice when you turn this bolt, you can watch the whole knuckle move. You can watch it move in, now it's coming back out. So right about there is in the middle, and that's where we're gonna tighten it. And when you tighten the nut, not the bolt.
There.
Yep, right about there's the torque spec. And then the bottom bolt, and we just regularly tighten it. And I think we're gonna use German torque specs on this one and make it wooden tight. Reattach the ABS line. All we have to do now is tighten the 3 nuts up top. Now we can move on to the rear. Okay, just like on the front, we're going to start off by loosening the strut nuts. You need to strip basically the entire trunk to get to these nuts. We're not going to show you how to do that, but once you get your interior out, there's 2 14mm nuts. Just loosen them, don't remove them. Now that both are loosened, we can go down and work on the bottom.
All right, so the bottom of the spindle, we're just gonna loosen. And then the one underneath the strut, we're going to remove. the end of the sway bar, end link on the sway bar bolt gets completely removed as well. And the last one all the way back in next to the exhaust is back to the 17. And that one we will also. All right, so there's a sensor back here and we haven't figured out what it's for yet, but it connects to the lower control arm all the way at the back. And you need to drop the inside of the control arm down to get this off. So I'm gonna take it apart here. I think that seems the simplest place. It has a
Allen key
little tab that sticks out right there in front of my face. That is on the back of it.
We're noobs.
Then this can drop down, everything relaxes, and you're free.
Then remove the 2 nuts in the trunk and the strut will come right out.
Don't be a loner. Have a friend, at least one.
Put a jack
Or
on
rent a
it.
friend if you need to.
Yeah, you put a jack underneath of it.
Yeah.
These have to be parallel with each other. The hat and the bolt for the bottom into the control arm. And this hat spins freely on the top. There's no set position. It has a piece of rubber in here that the spring just lands on anywhere. It's not grooved. So when you put this together, you have to put it together to where they're parallel. And then it will bolt right up in.
All right, that's it.
This looks like a horror film, this film too.
Oh, hi there. Well, hello there.
Well, hello there. Yeah, it's just stuck on the rubber. It has to, yeah, there you go. Oh, hat down.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the factory bump stop that comes on the rear. Okay, take that off. And apply the new one. It's kind of hard to get over that first initial bump if you just work it down. Just like that. Parallel. Yep. Because these springs are a little bit shorter in comparison to the stock ones, you don't really need to clamp them. Just have another person there and it makes it real easy. You're real crooked.
Right about enough. All right, get the strut back up into the trunk. Install your 2 nuts by hand. Get your fucking get your 2 nuts in your hand. And then we'll leave them hand loose for now, and then work down bottom, and we'll tighten these last.
So Freddy came up with an ingenious idea that just helped me so much. He sprayed the inside of the hat with a little bit of PB lubricant, or you could use WD-40, and that makes it so that you can just ever so slightly, if you really put some muscle on it, you can twist the whole thing. Literally just lay this up in here, and all the things find their bolt holes.
Find their buttholes?
Their bung holes.
Nice.
I like buttholes.
Probably would help if you had a hand.
First thing you do, tighten these guys up. Oh, and they're loose. Loosey-goosey. So I'm gonna hook it on the center cap and measure from the bottom of the center cap to the fender. Get a more accurate measurement. And this is 16 inches and 1/16. Actually, let's just call it 16 inches. 15 and 5/8. Driver front. 14 and 7/8. Driver's rear is, call it 15. It is 14 and 15/16.
All right, right, so we got this thing lowered, man. What do you think?
I like it a lot. I think it's still practical, but it definitely took away the wheel gap.
Oh yeah. It passes the shoe test. You can't get your whole shoe in there.
Okay.
So if you can get your whole shoe between the fender and the wheel,
Too much?
too much.
Yeah. Well, this is bad. Boots are bad. You should use like CrossFit shoes for that. No, I like it. I think it'll be good. I have a really big swell in my driveway, and I think if I stagger it, it should still clear without an issue. And I'm gonna put a hitch on the back too, so I was a little worried the rear would be too low, but it settled it out, it leveled it out, and I think there's still plenty of room for the hitch.
What if you installed airbags for towing?
Honestly, if I need monies.
Yeah.
Airbags would be the ultimate solution because like we found driving in the snow, if I could have lifted it up a little bit, got a little more ground clearance, I could have like tore up that little parking lot, but it was heavy wet snow and there was like 7-8 inches, so I was scraping underneath.
What I'm saying, instead of doing like a full airbag kit, if you're worried about towing, like when you put a trailer back there, just do the towing airbags.
Yeah, okay.
Like what your dad has on his truck.
Yup, static ones where you just pump them up with a Schrader valve.
Yeah. That's like $200.
You might be onto something.
Yeah.
You might be onto something.
And I'm sure they don't make a kit, which means we have to poor man out a kit and make it fit, and then sell it and make a ton of money.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Deal. See you there.
I will say though, even though lowering a Subaru is against my religion, it does look really good.
Thank you.
I do love the way it looks.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah.
I've seen it before, and I was really excited to see it on this car, and I'm really happy with the way it came out.
Yeah. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you liked it. Hope you learned something. Let us know if you want to see more videos on this WRX, because there probably will be a lot more videos.
Got a lot of things planned. A lot of cool things to come.
So, let us know.
I'll have you over when we work on the trailer too.
Yeah. Awesome. So, let us know down below, and we'll see you next time.